Hi, in this video we're going to be looking at how to reverse a number in C#. Specifically, we want this number written in reverse like this. Right, so we want it written in reverse like 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, so how do we go about doing this then? So the first thing we want to do is actually extract the last digit of this number, right? We want to keep getting the last digit, the last digit, the last digit. But how do we do that? Well, this is how. We're gonna say int last digit is equals to, we want to divide the number by 10, right? And then get the remainder, right? Why divide by 10? Because if we divide by 10, then remember that we have 1 0 in 10. So if we divide this number by 10, it will actually leave out the last digit like this. So we're gonna say number modulus, which means get the remainder when you divide this number by 10. That's what the statement means. Like, divide the number by 10 and get the remainder, right? And when you've got the remainder, so this will return the remainder, and then we'll store this remainder in the last digit variable. Okay, so let's actually print out the last digit variable and see what we get. So we're gonna say console dot write line, and then gonna say last digit. All right, and then we're gonna run this on the code. .NET run. All right, so we get 7 as our last digit, right? So I did tell you that if you divide by 10, right, the remainder upon dividing by 10 will be 7, the last digit, right? Now let's actually test this theory out. What if I add 100 here? Right, so the more zeros I add, right, the more I move to the left of this number, right? The more numbers I get, right? So here I should be getting 2 digits if I divide by 100. So if number divided by 100 should give us a remainder of 67, right? So let's actually see that. So if I run this code again, you see I get 67. That is all good, right? So that is perfect. But now what I want to do is actually store this last digit as the beginning of the reversed number. Okay, I want to store the last digit as the beginning of the reverse number. Let's actually do this so you can see. So I'm just gonna clear this now because I know it works, right? And then also bring this down to 10 again. All right, and now what I want to do is first create a variable here just below the number variable. I'm gonna name this variable, so I'm gonna say reverse number, and I'm gonna assign it to 0 at first, right? Why? Well, this is because this is where I will store my reverse number. All right, so this is gonna be my reverse number. This is where I'm gonna store it after I've reversed it. All right, so let's see how we can store the first last digit on this number. So here's how I'm gonna do it. So firstly, I will say reverse number, right, is equals to the reverse number, right? What do I mean by this? Well, I'm saying assign the reverse number to the current reverse number, in which in this case it's actually 0, right? Because reverse number is 0 at first. So I'm going to say reverse number, assign it to 0 times by 10, right? Times by 10 plus the last digit. Right, but why do I do this? Well, here's what's gonna happen, right? At first you might not understand this, but you'll get it as we go. So we're gonna say reverse number, which is 0, times 10, which will give us 0, right? And remember here, the first digit we're gonna get is 7. So after this, we're gonna say 0 plus 7, which will give us the 7, right? So if I now actually print this reverse number, you're gonna see we're gonna get the 7. So we're gonna say console the write line, and then we're gonna say reverse number now. All right, and then we're gonna run this. .NET run. As you see, we get the 7. Okay, but Now there's one key thing, one last thing that we have to do here in order to make sure that this code works, right? In order to make sure that we keep getting the number at the end of the number, right? Okay, in order to make sure that we get the 7, the 6, the 5, the 4, and the 3, we have to do one last thing, right? So once we've gotten this last digit right here, it is time to remove the 7 from the number. Okay, we have to now remove the 7 from the number because we have stored it in the reverse number, right? So let's remove the 7. So here's how we're going to do it. We're going to say number is now equals to number, right, divided by 10. All right. So I'm just going to do this. Right, this is going to be divided by 10. Okay, so to test if this works, we're going to say number here, right? So we want to print number, right? So we're going to print number here to make sure that we have gotten rid of the 7 right here. So let's see if we do that. We're going to say .net run. As you can see now, the number is now 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, right? So there is no longer the 7. So once you get the last digit, you want to remove it from the number. So the new last digit now becomes 6, right? So now our new last digit is now 6. And now you can guess what we're going to do next, right? We're going to repeat the step again, right? We're going to repeat this step again, right? We're going to say last digit equals number modulus 10 again to get this 6, right? And we're going to do it for the 5, for the 4, for the 3, for the 2, up until we reach 1. All right, so let's actually do that. So what I'm going to do right now is simply just change this to reverse number so you can see that this works. So I'm going to say reverse number. We're going to print reverse number now, right? And then I'm going to just copy this and paste it again, right? A second time, like this. All right, so I don't need to do this here. All right, so what is going to happen now is we're going to repeat the same steps twice, right? And see if we actually get the 7 and then the 6 after. Because we repeated it twice, we should get 2 numbers. I'm going to say .net run. As you can see, we actually get 7, 6, right? And if we repeat this at that time, we'll get 7, 6, 5, right? And so on, right? Up until we get 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. But this is unclean. As you can see here, it's very much unclear now what I'm doing, right? This is really unclear as to what I'm doing. So what I can do instead is now put this all in a loop, right? So let's put it in a loop. So I'm just gonna get rid of this part, right? And then I'm gonna say void, right? And I'm gonna say reverse number. Reverse number. All right. So I'm defining a function reverse number, right? And I'm going to just put whatever step I did here, right? So I'm gonna say this will now come inside the function, right? And then I'm gonna also have this step be inside the function as well. Right, and then here I'm gonna change this to 0 at first as well. Alright. So these are my variables, alright? These are my variables. And then here inside the function is where I'm doing my procedure. Okay, so we now need to loop over these steps, right? So what we're going to do is introduce a while loop. We're going to say while, right, number, right, is greater than 0. All right. What we want to do is these 3 steps. All right. We want to do these 3 steps. while number is greater than 0, we want to do this 3 steps. Okay, and then when this is done, what we want to do is print. We want to print the reverse number in its completeness. Alright, and then the final part is actually calling this function. Alright, so we're going to say reverse number. Actually, we want to call the function itself, so we're going to say reverse number. Let me just do this here. Okay, so what is going to happen now? So we're going to initialize our variables here, and then we're going to repeat the steps that we've been doing, but now inside a loop, right? And then while number is greater than 0, right, we're gonna keep doing this, right, up until we get our reverse number. So let's now run the code. So if I run this now, as you can see, we get 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 as a reverse number. Alright, so we are done. So in fact, I can even just print the number here before it was reversed and then after it was reversed, right? So I'm just gonna say console the right line number. Alright, and then when I run this, as you can see, we get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So I hope that this video was insightful for you, as it was for me. Please like and subscribe if you find it helpful. Bye.